So this is a little bit different video than what we typically do. What we've got here is one of our whole broilers that we have cooked. This was a little bit larger bird. I think it came out to about 6.6 pounds or so. This one we kept for ourselves. So a lot of people are real nervous about buying a whole chicken because they don't know how to properly cut it up. So most people buy it pre-cut. So you'll buy like your boneless breast, your thighs, legs, quarters, however it is that you're purchasing it. But what people don't know is if you buy a whole bird, you can get it a little bit cheaper. And then all you have to do is go through the process of cutting it up yourself. So we're going to show you where the cuts come from, how to do it, and just, I mean, it's super simple things. So this is what we're going to do today. So get a knife here. And so we've got our bird. Here is obviously the wings. This is your leg quarter, so this is where your thigh and your drumstick are. And then right here is where your breasts are going to be at. So usually what I'll start off with doing is I'm just going to go through, we're going to cut these wings off. And the way this bird was cooked, we had it on the camp chef for quite some time. So it's most of this stuff that you can just peel it apart without a knife, but we use a knife just for the purpose of showing it. So there's your wings, and that's a whole wing. So typically when people think of wings, you're going to have a flat, which is this portion right here. That's those two bones that peel out of it, and this is going to be your drumlet, which kind of looks like a miniature drumstick. This obviously has all the skin still on it, so it doesn't quite look like what you would purchase from the store. This is going to be your leg quarter. So we'll just come in, and essentially all you're doing is just cutting the skin. And you can see there's a joint in here, and this is going to peel apart. So we're just following that joint, cutting that apart. So that's one whole leg quarter, which is one option that we sell. And so you can see right here, there's the skin, and all I'm doing is pulling that apart. You can see how there's nothing there. So we just pull that, and really it just popped off. So, and that's all that is. Here in a minute we'll split one of those apart so you can kind of see where that drumstick and that thigh come out of. So then this right here, this is just a bunch of back meat and stuff on here. Back meat and skin. It's good. You can just pull that stuff off. You can, if you're doing like a chicken salad or you're doing like a chicken noodle soup, something of that nature, you can always peel that stuff off, kind of use it for that. So there's a little bit more in there that we can get off. And so now this is where your breast and your tenders come from. A lot of people, when you think of a chicken breast, you don't necessarily think of the tender, but it's all in this one piece. So whenever we do our bone-in breast, it actually includes two breasts and both tenders on there. So I'm kind of separating here. You can see this muscle separating from the bone. Since it's cooked, there's not really any reason to cut this, but if it was not cooked, all you would do is just take that knife and you can follow this bone right here. So here's your breast right here. I'll go ahead and pull the skin off of it. And when you're cooking these things whole, the skin really holds a lot of flavor. A lot of people like to eat the skin, a lot of people don't like to eat the skin just because it does have a little more fat content in it. But when you're cooking these whole birds, it's good to have that skin on because it's going to hold the moisture in and it's going to give the meat a lot more flavor. So that is your standard boneless breast. And then what you can see right here on the inside of that, this is what you would call a tender. So kind of same process. Just kind of work that out. I'm just using my thumb to go through there and kind of separate that off. And that right there is one whole chicken tender. Most time when you get a chicken tender in the store, all they do is simply take a piece of breast and cut it into strips in the shape of a tender. This is where the term chicken tender comes from. And so we'll flip it over to the other side. We're going to go ahead and just pull this skin off. And so you can see this whole breast right here. And we're just following the inside of this breast. Just separating that with our thumb. And see how it separates from that tender? Just like that. So pull that off. Good whole, boneless, skinless chicken breast. Kind of coming back here with the tender. You can see that one strip of meat that runs down through there. Real super simple. Just like that. Boneless chicken tender. So then, that essentially has your entire bird taken care of. You can see that's your breastbone through there. There's still some pieces in here, like some of this back meat. A lot of people will cook that down, or they'll even take this whole carcass and put it in like a stock pot, and you're going to boil this, and all the fat and juice that comes off of this is what this is what makes up your chicken broth or your chicken stock. So a lot of times people will boil this whole. You pick all the meat and everything off of it. It pulls the fat out of it, and then you can pour all of that juice off of it. And that's what people make soups and stews and all that with. So that's pretty well picked clean. Couple of pieces on there. So you can see that. You've got essentially everything you can get off of this bird. Like I said, there might be a few little pieces of meat that you can get, but it's essentially it. So then you have all of these little pieces of meat here. We'll kind of put those in a pile over here to the side. So then we're going to take this leg quarter that we were just talking about. So there's your thigh, there's your drumstick, and essentially all that is separating that joint in that leg. You can see there's that joint right there, and we're just peeling that apart. So there's your typical drumstick, and this is your standard thigh. Let's pull the skin off of this. Maybe. The meat's wanting to fall apart with it as well. There's a couple pieces from the back meat. So there's skin. So this is your typical thigh, just like that. So that really has it. It is Super Bowl weekend, so we've been doing a little bit of cooking. We've got some wings here, made some brownies earlier, but we cooked this chicken up. A lot of people are really afraid of ordering a whole chicken because they don't know what to do with it. They don't know how to cook it, they don't know how to process it, and this is a super simple way to go through and get all the meat, and it saves you a little bit of money when you do that. Now, if you don't want to do any of this, we still offer an option. You can either buy it by the piece, or if you're going to pre-order, when you pre-order that bundle, it gives you enough cut pieces split up almost just like this, and that is enough of 3 birds. And if you order a couple of those bundles, then you get a little bit of a discount. You can use a bulk discount. I think it is bulk 10 is what the discount code is. So do that on the website. Put your pre-order in. We'll get everything growing for the year for you. Get everything processed for you, and hopefully you can either get some whole birds or you can get some, get the pieces that you want, and you can have a lot of really good meat that you can feed your family with for the rest of the year. So thank y'all for watching along with the video. Go out there. Hope y'all have a good Super Bowl Sunday, and we'll see you next time. See ya.